Alright, what's up guys? So, had an interesting morning. It started right off the bat trading NIO. Did pretty well in it. Scalped $127. I traded it better. I traded it worse than I should have. Like I could have done a lot better. But we'll dig into that. And then these two right here just really put, especially Moderna, it put me on tilt. $253 loss. Took that loss in like probably 15-30 seconds after entering. Tried to get it on a pullback, but ended up catching a knife, which is going to happen, and it's a little bit frustrating. The setup wasn't there, and I should not have taken the trade, but we'll dig into that too because I want to be more transparent than just showing you all my great trades. And for myself, this is something that I definitely have to learn from because it cannot happen again. I cannot, without me at least like making the effort for it not to happen again. So, yeah, watching Visa right now. Ain't a whole lot going on there. So, first of all, let's look at the NIO big picture. NIO intraday fundamentals, 2.4 ATR. Still moving, man. And that was my plan originally, was to get in this for an intraday swing. And that's something I got to work on as well, because I certainly did not do that. And it would have been way more profitable if I did. So let's dig into it. Daily, we kind of broke below this and closed below, but the daily, the 200 day is right here. And see, we just kind of, I thought that if we could get above this level, it would be pretty important, which is high of day yesterday, would signify that we're going to be in a bullish environment for this ticker. And right off the open, that happened, and I'll show you how it happened. So you get two of me. So I opened up this morning looking at Halliburton, and then I saw this setup in NIO. To me, there's a shit ton of bids here, a lot of support at this level, which is what I wanted to see. And I started off with 3 contracts because I knew this was going to be more of a momentum trade. There we go, 3 contracts filled. More of a momentum trade. It ended up just being a scalp because I didn't have the patience, and I can show you where I should have, what I could have done differently. But I get greedy, and that's what happens. So it's setting up nicely here. Tape's looking strong. Lots of offers here for it to go through. And that is just what it looked like. See, really what I should have been trying to do here was, if that pulled back to 44.6, certainly would have been able to add to it. But then I would have been very over position size. So, I mean, I think starting with 3 on that was actually pretty smart because, you know, my risk tolerance for the day was $40 per ticker, which obviously did not work out on Moderna. And we'll get into that. But, you know, $40 is where I like to cut things because I have a intraday daily stop out of 190. So really $50 is kind of how I'm trading that, but 40 is great, just to be safe. But you know, I try to size in to be according to that. You know, sized in here so that I could get stopped out below this level. But there was a lot of bids that held there. And what I see on this side is that there's a good amount of offers as well as bids. People are trying to wait for this to pull back a little bit. And I think they end up getting filled on some, but then the buyers just step over to the offer side and just, you know, start taking stuff out. You know, people are taking some profits on that. You see the volume growing. Here's where it got a little fishy, alright? And I didn't take anything off, because like I said, I wanted to swing this. But it did get it kind of extended above this level. I kind of wanted it... I mean, it moved well, I think. But here we go. It starts to really move now. I think there was some pretty large size on the offers that got taken out. Tape's looking green. Trey called out Fubo voice channel, so I checked it out. A little late for me to get in. I believe he got in right there. Anyway, that to me just looks way overextended for the day. But I mean, the 1 minute will look like that at the open when there's a good drive. So what I did is I started taking size off when it pulled back. And that's just not how you trade an intraday swing, you know. I'm up pretty decent on the day from here. And I started taking things off on this pullback, which is just not really conducive for making this type of trade. I was a little wary of all this selling volume that was hitting the market, but I knew it needed a little pullback. And I got out. Oh, where did I get out? I was looking for UPS. I guess I already got out of it. You know, just looking for other things to trade. It pulled back to the VWAP. This is my entry where I load the boat. This is where you get... This is my playbook setup right here. This is where I'm like, okay, this is... You load the boat here. You've got the confirmation it bounced off VWAP. Tends to hold VWAP intraday as a nuance with this ticker. I think I waited a little bit long on this confirmation, but you know, my stop is basically if this thing starts going against me, I'm going to start taking some size off. But I put a limit in just to try and get it on a little bit of a pullback, and I couldn't get filled. which is already something that I know is a pattern of mine that needs to be worked on. But I end up getting filled. This thing takes off, and I'm able to just take some of my size off. Oh man, what'd I do? And I focus so much on that relief of getting out of the trade that it really could have been a nice setup to, you know, I'm always looking for the next ticker when the play is on NIO, you know. I mean, this thing looks great. Anyway, I didn't play it for a swing. I wanted to play it for a swing, and I ended up playing it for a scalp. You know, brought in some decent profit on it, but it could have been. The setup was for this for the swing, and this I will say that this opening drive play is a separate trade from getting in on, you know, like where I loaded the boat with 5 contracts. I put 3 on for the opening drive because it's more volatile, and I took them off, and then I put 5 contracts back on to see this thing through a swing, and then I ended up selling them all. Not a great, not really sticking to the plan as far as the plan on this trade, and it shows, you know. You can see it just keeps going up. You know, I sold right here, or I sold right here, and really, you know, this would have been great. The problem is that options don't always move with the underlying. They move based on volatility a lot of times, but yeah, so, you know, I'm not sure if I'm out of this yet. I guess I was out of it then. Well, that's the problem with doing this stuff live. So I got into Caterpillar here. I thought it was going to flag out, but it ended up getting a little bit more volatile on the as it flagged out, which to me is like, okay, this is looking like a bear setup, and I didn't take the bear side. And, you know, that's on me again with just thinking very biased. It just ended up not being a great day. I didn't start the day off well. Going through my pre-market stuff. Got into an argument over coffee this morning with my girlfriend. And I knew I thought I should have taken the day off. I thought about it, didn't do it. Instead, I watched a 3-minute trading coach video on trading on tilt and how to avoid that in my trading. Whenever I'm trading on tilt, the best thing to do, according to Steenbarger, is separate myself from my ego of the trade and plan for being right and wrong. That way I can clearly see what to do next in a trade. And we'll see how I didn't exercise that. Obviously in this I didn't exercise that. I ended up pulling the plug on this pretty soon. And then we're going to see this Moderna trade. See, I pulled the plug as it went back up a little bit, but still it wasn't something that I was really keen on watching. Okay, AMC was looking at that. Tesla was looking at that. Couldn't really get in Tesla. It's too big of size, and that's not really what I was liking. Okay, looking at Invax, it's holding pretty well. So I was like, okay, well, what's Moderna look like? And that's when I decided, okay, this looks like it's got some moves left in it. I'm going to try and see what it does above this view up on the 1 minute. Because it was above view up and it was testing the 200 period. I thought this was going to pull back here, give me a nice setup, pulled back to it, came back above, and I decided I was going to get long with 2 contracts. I mean, to me this looked great. I enter literally at the top of this, and it fails. And I'm like, oh well. You know, this is, it might hold here. And then I'm thinking it might hold here, but I wasn't able to enter this trade down there enough to give myself the space needed to see this thing work out. And so what happens is it pulls back down to the view app, and I end up having to eat this for $253 loss right here because of this pullback. And you know, that is 5 times my daily stop out that I took on that. And that, to me, that's just like, that's just something that will make you frustrated in trading. If you oversize yourself and then it immediately pulls back on you and gives you no way to get out, like that happens, and you can't, like, and I got distracted. I was trying to fucking zoom in on this, and it ran on me. And really, this was looking to be, this was a good bearish setup, and what I should have done was waited for a little bit more confirmation, you know. But the thing is I was so yeah, you see me getting pissed off, and that's just because, like, I have to get pissed off at myself in that situation because it was a mistake on my end. It was not a you know, it's not something that you can do and recover from. It's something that I 5 times over position sized myself in this, and then didn't take the loss when it pulled down to stop me out. And I'm glad I did get out when I did, because it just kept moving down. But this was a bearish setup, and I just did not buy into that. And I did not buy into the idea of trading this on the downside. And really, you know, I could have made $250 instead of losing it. But, you know, this is what happens in trading, and this is what happens when you're still learning your risk tolerances and your daily stop outs, and what, like, how to trade an option based on what the underlying stock is doing, because they do not always move very well. And I mean, this thing just, like, whoever was trading the options with me blew through all the bids. They were stuck in the same place as me, and it trapped me. Trapped me and a lot of other traders, and that's something, you know, this chess, you know. But anyway, we can kind of go over some questions. Okay. I think I'm going to make a separate video later today going over my trading plan. But right now, we are just going to go through my questions that that I look over every day. Where should I get bigger responsibly? In NIO, I really traded that responsibly. I think 5 contracts was plenty, as a core position that I planned to take off 2 of into momentum. And it was into momentum. I waited for the confirmation, bought it into momentum, and wanted to sell some of it into momentum so that I could widen my stop a little bit for the intraday swing. And I ended up just, taking all the profit on the momentum trade, which is fine because it was within the first 30 minutes of the day. That's in my playbook as part of how I trade the open. I don't like to hold on to that stuff very long because of the option volatility, which means that the option volatility can work in your favor really well in those situations, or it can crush you. So going in with 5 contracts was actually pretty risky, and I was just willing to get out of them. I loaded up all 5 to sell as a stop out if this thing was not going to go get with me, but it did. And that's, this is something for the playbook, this NIO trade. It was something for the playbook. I really, really could have, seen it bounce here, added here, and then taken this thing for the rest of the day, or until I had a reason to sell. What should I cut out of my trading? We go back to Moderna. Cutting out, putting on 2 contracts on something like that is, I think putting on 2 contracts on something like that is fine when the setup indicates to do that. And that setup was all right. It's something I look for. I look for it to get above the VWAP and then pull back and hold it. And I just got in before it pulled back to the VWAP. I think I was confused about 200-day and moving too fast and over trading, and that's how that happens. But it's something you learn from, because it is quite painful to lose that much money in less than a minute. So was I in control of my trading? I felt very in control of my trading on NIO, but in Moderna I was just certainly not. I felt like I was at the will of the market makers just to get me out of that. Did I manage my risk correctly? No. I did on NIO, but I did not on Moderna, and that is, this is why we see this. But, I want to get into, why. I want to get into, how it's important to grow from this, because there is a playbook trade in this, and there's also a trade that really is not in my playbook and not going to be in my playbook as a bullish setup. Really, it should have been a short setup, but did I break any of my trading rules? Yeah, oversized, overtraded, and tried to chase on Moderna. Really, that's truly what that was. It was not even I should have waited for the pullback. If I waited for the pullback, I would have lost the same amount of money, but at least I would have been satisfied with myself for taking a clean setup. And that's that's how it goes. Another thing with that is if I bought 2 contracts, it's not in my risk tolerance to do that, and it's also not in my risk tolerance, or it's also using up all of my money for the day. So if I was to even, let's say that I used 1 contract, I took that loss, I still needed to get out of that, to walk away today. But I think for the rest of the week, my solution for focusing on this is, once I make some money, I'm if I make my daily stop out, or 75% of my daily stop out, I'm going to try and take those and run for the rest of the week, because we don't want this going against me. We don't want to just go looking for trades and have them go against me. That's just not how it's going to work. Did I break any of my trading rules? Yes. We already went over that one. Did I add or subtract any bad habits? I definitely added I just fell back into that bad habit of oversizing and over trading, and I'm working on this every day. I think really the best thing for me to do moving forward is to kind of step away after I make some money, or step away after I lose some money. If I lose half of my stop out for the day, I need to step away, come back after 15 minutes of a breather, and look for clean setups again, because that would work better than what I did. And I get euphoric or stressed out. Absolutely got stressed out. Was I mindful of my thought patterns and what I find interesting about that? I'm gonna add the thought pattern that, like, just the over trading is something I'm really going to dig into tonight and look at, because lately I've been just looking at better level 2 software, and it's not what's hindering me in my trading. What's hindering me in my trading is absolutely mental. Always is. Seems to be that way. I have a decent feel for what's going on with a stock, but the mental stuff is certainly something I have to improve in, and is the reason that I'm even trading this account and with live money, because you can't learn the mental stuff trading on paper. You can learn the setups trading on paper, and I'm learning the setups too, but the mentality is just, that's the thing that I need the most improvement on, and I need to focus on the fundamentals of. So for plan for this evening and to look at my stuff, I'm definitely going to take a look at practicing patience, and my daily goal for today was to work on getting the number of losing trades down while continuing to manage tight stops. I did half of that. I got the number of losing trades down, but I didn't manage tight stops, and that blew me up on Moderna. On Moderna, like, it's really just something where the price, if it pulls back, it's going to pull back $1 or $2 instead of 10 cents or 20 cents, and that is a place where I'm not trying to be in anymore. I don't want to be where, like, if I'm risking something, I want to risk 10 cents. I don't want to risk $2. And I want to know that I'm able to get out of it if it goes against me. And so yeah, that is certainly something that I'm going to be working on, and maybe doing some on-demand trading, just to try and focus on, to take the mental side out of it and focus on, okay, how is this contract going to move if it does move against me, so that I can plan how many contracts to put on and stuff like that. I would love to be able to just trade stock with leverage, but just because of the liquidity that you can get, and you can be able to stop out after losing 5 cents. You can't do that with these options. It's truly frustrating in that sense, but it's something I gotta do. So, but yeah, like, this was good. Good review. Not a whole lot of great stuff going on today other than NIO, which I did not trade well. The setup was great. But the key here is to be positive about it. Learn how you can better learn how I can better do trade these setups, so that I am getting in at the best price, and I am I'm not risking $2 with 2 contracts of a highly volatile biotech company like that. I mean, when you put it in a sentence like that, it's like, whoa, you don't have that risk tolerance right now. I mean, I have a $4,000 account. It's down to like $39.90 or something. But I just don't have that risk tolerance right now. So this is what so 38.67 is what I have right now. This is just, it is what it is. Work from here. But yeah, I mean, it's earnings season. Everything's kind of all over the place. Like, whatever is hot today is what's going to be moving, and you won't know until it gets hot. So it's like, it's really hard to prepare for these days. But and it's frustrating to be done before 10:30 every day, because there's so many setups that happen in the afternoon. I just don't have the patience to save my capital for those. And that is what it is, and that's I don't have work today, so I could have traded the close, but I didn't save any money for it, so it is what it is. And I think there's a lot of growth to be had, and especially in reviewing this and talking through it. So yeah, you guys probably won't ever see this video unless you come back and look at my stuff. But the mindset is, maybe one day somebody will come back and look at this video and say, okay, that's where he started. Because I don't plan on giving up on this stuff anytime soon, or ever. Got my sticky note here that says, don't ever give up. Dated. And that's just how the mindset has to be with this, because it's extremely frustrating some days. But anyway, really solid review, and I look forward to taking 1, 2, maybe 3 good trades tomorrow and swinging them through the day. So I might take 1 trade on the open and then look for 2 swings, and that's how I'm going to trade tomorrow. And I'm really going to focus on licking my wounds from this loss today. But I mean, I still didn't lose more than my daily stop out, which is a very solid, that's the epitome of this thing. Stay in the game. If your daily stop out's $190, you don't lose that, because if you lose that, what are you doing? You're not managing your risk properly. That's 5% of my account gone. And you can't do that every day. You can't. I really would like to be able to move my daily stop up, but the point with these options is, like, I wouldn't be able to trade anything with stops that tight, and that's maybe that's what I need, but right now it's not really how I'm going to grow as a trader, I don't think. But anyway, this was a good review, and subscribe, thumbs up, and join our Discord, Investors at Work. It's in the description. So thanks, y'all. Have a good day.